Greg, just your thoughts on such a big game and the struggles you overcame the other day, and then it seemed everything was elevated today in the performance.
Yeah, today's a final, and you could see the guys were super focused all throughout the day. You know, to me, we knew what type of game it was going to be, and that was important. We wanted to maintain calm and play our football. And, you know, credit to the guys, because I think the intensity stayed at a really high level for the whole game, and that was really important, especially against Mexico. But all the other stuff, you know, it's our goal this whole tournament was to advance and then get a chance to play in the final and win the final, and we achieved it.
Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. Greg, just what are your thoughts on Gio's performance tonight? And I'm curious, what compelled you to run down the touchline and celebrate with him? And then you guys kind of got pelted with debris. I'm curious, you know, what you thought about that.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, you know, because we want a really competitive game. We want a great atmosphere, but we don't want to get things thrown at us. You know, it's unsafe, and someone can get hurt. But, you know, I think he had a great performance. You know, 75 minutes, and, you know, he hasn't had that much game time in a while. And for him, it was just a mental thing. He was determined to grind through it and power through it. And I thought he was doing really well. And you see, he got to the point right where we're going to take him out, where he actually did cramp up, and it was evident that he needed to come out. But I think all tournament long, or the last two games, I think he did a great job. And, you know, certainly they made a great choice giving player of the tournament or player of this round to Gio, because I think he had a great impact in these two games.
Doug McIntyre, Fox Sports. Greg, congrats on the win.
Thanks, Doug.
What went into the decision to start Tyler, knowing you'd have to take him out at halftime? And, you know, how much did that goal at that moment change the match?
It was an easy decision, because if you think about it, what we did last time cost 2 subs, right? So for us, we knew we can get to 45. We wouldn't use a window, and we wouldn't use 2 subs. So, and then what it gave the guys is a boost that you got a guy like Tyler Adams on the field. And you can see how impactful he was in the 45. And, you know, typical Tyler, we get into an argument in the locker room, and he wants to play more. And, you know, guys are asking, why can't he play more? You know, it's the whole thing. And, but we had to stick to it. You know, that's what we agreed with his club. And for us, as much as I wanted him in the game, because I did, you know, it's a safety thing. We want him to make sure that he gets back in a healthy way, because he has a lot more games to play. The goal was amazing, right? And, you know, he was kind of joking around. Guys think he can't shoot, but I've seen him shoot before, and he's, you know, he has a hard shot. Generally, it has that trajectory where it rises, and, you know, just these balls you can actually hit really hard and are difficult for goalies.
Paul Tenorio from The Athletic. Greg, you kind of laughed it off yesterday when you were asked if you guys had more pressure going into this game than Mexico, but I think the atmosphere certainly indicated that the expectation was for you guys to win. The team seemed to embrace that, not shrink away from it. What does it mean about the growth of this squad, that they're willing to kind of hold on to those pressure moments and grasp them? And how big was it for you guys to have that level of pressure and answer to it in this final ahead of the Copa America?
Yeah, you know, I think it's something that we do respond to. And, you know, I think it's when the guys feel like we're pressured, then we come out and we play really good performances. And, you know, for me, it's you know, really focusing on that type of performance every game. And that's what it's going to take to be successful at an event like the World Cup. And, but I know the guys, you know, in the last World Cup, as soon as they got to camp, it was like focus, focus, focus. They were on it. And same thing in this camp as the camp went on. So I know the focus. For me, it's about, you know, really taking advantage of every single opportunity we have, because before we know it, 2026 is going to be here.
Greg, Paul Kennedy of Soccer America here.
Yep.
You speak a little bit about Johnny Cardoso, who came in for Tyler.
Yep.
Probably the biggest game he's played for you guys.
Yep.
And what do you think?
You know, it was a really difficult circumstances to come in on, because of the 1-0 lead. You know, you're coming in at halftime where everyone else is you know, already in the rhythm of the game, and you're not. So, but you see how he just battles through stuff. It wasn't a perfect performance. No one had a perfect performance, but he just keeps digging, and he's not afraid. And he gets in good position to win tackles, win balls, and really happy that he got this opportunity.
Henry Bushnell with Yahoo Sports right here, Greg. Two-part question on Gio. First of all, given you've spoken about a lot about his qualities throughout this week, do you feel like he's become almost your most irreplaceable player at this point? And second part, he spoke 3 days ago about how he's so far past everything that happened between you guys at the World Cup, between your families, everything. When did you sense that he had fully moved past it?
I think when I took over the team again, I talked about it needing time, right? And that's something that I think we both acknowledged. And the more you work together, and the more that he believed that intentions were true, and that the whole staff has his best interest in mind. I think we started to gain trust, and we were very patient with it. I've spoken so much about how talented he is, and how he can unlock defenses, and he just has these qualities that are really good. And I also believe, and I've said this before, that he can be a midfielder. And I think that's the next evolution for him, because he can control the tempo so well of a game, and he can make final passes. And when he gets the ball in pockets in transition, and he's a good finisher, and he's a good final passer. So he's got a ton of qualities, and we're really hoping that, like many players we spoke about before, they use this as momentum to take back to their clubs and really kick on, the second half of the rest of the season, because, we know what type of, trouble they're in. And I really believe that he can help them.
Greg Archbald, CONCACAF.com. You being a big Dallas Cowboys fan, you know how difficult it is to three-peat. So how does it feel to guide this team to a three-peat here in CONCACAF?
It feels great. That was our focus. We talked about it in the beginning of the camp. I showed the Michael Jordan slide when he's holding up the three fingers with the trophy, and that's what we wanted. Also, we photoshopped the Nations League trophy into the same picture with Michael Jordan. So that was what we were focused on. It doesn't happen too often. I think in North American sports in the last 50 years, pro sports, it's probably happened 6 times. So it's rare. And congratulations to the guys. Congratulations for playing a great final. I think that's the other thing that needs to be said, is that we really performed well tonight. And we're happy.
Hey, Greg, Sanjay from
Sanjay.
Backfield. Two-part question. First part, you talked about Gio being a midfielder. Could you talk about how deep he played today and parts of the game on Thursday too? Were those your instructions? Was that his instincts, a bit of both? Could you talk about that? And then also, it seems like there's always going to be elite youth prospects who are eligible to play for the Mexico or the United States. I'm living in the United States. Fidel Barajas, for example, last night has 2 assists in MLS. There's always going to be kids like that. What do you think is going through their minds when they see you guys consistently beat Mexico? You could say dominate them. Do you think it's motivating them to join the program, or it's reminding everyone that it's that much tougher to be a part of this team now?
Yeah, I wouldn't get carried away with that type of stuff. I think it's part of the player, and we've always said this. They have to feel it in their heart. They have to really want to be part of the group. They have to really want to fight for their country in international competition. And for us, all we try to do is show them the environment, show them the group of guys. I spoke a lot about what a quality bunch of guys we have on our team, and you can see that. And so. For us, we want to do our talking on the field with our play, but I think off the field is even a more special bond that the guys have created with each other. Yeah, I won't get into all the tactics, because every time I do, I get in trouble somehow from Jeff and Steven and Doug and Paul. But it was an instruction.
Here, Mr. Greg. Oscar Flores from Tigo Sports Honduras. From outside of United States, we are looking for United States, all the growth that you have on those years. From 22 players, only 2 plays on MLS. And Mexican coach says right now that a lot of players need from Mexico go to Europe to have this evolution that you have. Do you think this is a clue for now be a U.S. a very good team in this area?
Yeah, well, what I'd say is, MLS developed probably 3/4 of our team. and there's a time, I think, all you tell players is you play at the highest level you can play at, where you're consistently getting game time, and when you start to dominate wherever you are, you move on. And that's wherever you are, whether it's MLS or, second division in Holland or first Bundesliga, you want to keep progressing, you want to keep being challenged. And, we ask all our players that. So, MLS is extremely important to our program. And we have a really good group, a generation of players right now. And one thing that we just need to be cautious about is that we keep developing them and we don't get too confident. We keep doing the work, because we've done a lot of good work in the last years to develop this group of players, but we need to continue because, time evolves, and, we need to continue a continuous player pool.
How you doing, Greg? Fernando Fiore from Football TV.
Hey, Fernando.
How are you? Pretty good. There is a word that you repeat over and over in the first part of this conference, and it's a word that I always have problem in my English as a second language. Focus. Focus. Always be. How do you do it now after a boost tonight and then concentrate for the Copa America, which is pretty close? And since he mentioned that two players in the MLS, one is Drake Callender. How do you see him over there?
Yeah,
past weekend?
I think the Copa America, we're going to see the guys focus because we realize what a big opportunity this is for us. And, I'm confident that even though they had a long season in their legs, and I talked last, press conference about, sometimes we're too hard on these guys because they do their best and they can't always play at the top levels. They're under so much pressure at their clubs and they're traveling across the country. I think 8 of our starters in the last game arrived on Monday night. You're turning around, you're playing Thursday. It's not the easiest thing. So, I think that when Copa America comes around, we're going to have a good training camp. We know we play 2 very good friendlies. I mean, Colombia is on fire right now. Brazil just had a big win. And then we go and battle through the group stage and hope to get to the knockout stage and compete for a championship. Yeah, no, Drake, it was good to have him in this camp. We had him in January camp as well, and we've seen, throughout the league that he's been a good goalkeeper. And for us, the most important thing in this camp was the collective, was the group, and Drake fits in really well.
We are going to do the last question.
Thank you. Claudio Villalobos from Nashville Total Sports. Greg, besides the huge fact of winning the cup for sure and having the U.S. do it for 3 times, can you tell, with the short amount of time that you have the guys in this camp, how much the team has improved, the whole thing has improved since you took back the job?
Well, I think it's clear who we are. I mean, when you look at us, it's clear the way we play. We're high intensity, high pressing. With the ball, we've evolved a little. We had a lot more control today at times in the game. I think in the end of the game we lost a little bit of control. But we're dynamic, we're fast, we can get behind teams. I think if you watch our team, there's really things that you'd be concerned about if you're our opponent. And I think that's the mark of a good group.
Coach, thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys.
everyone. Have a good night. We conclude with this press conference.